Joanna Lucas sat staring at the telephone, drumming her fingers on the buttons, as she decided whether to make the call. She spun her desk chair around and went to the window of her third-floor office and stared out at the busy street below. It was a warm summer day in Boston, but for some inexplicable reason she felt a chill. She didn't have time for this. She had 16 student interns waiting for assignments. She also had to restore an exquisite Victorian candelabra she suspected was sterling silver, but some jerk had spray-painted green, a 16th-century French bisque figurine with chips that needed repair, and a one-of-a-kind grandfather clock that needed cleaning before the museum added it to their collection. She didn't have time for this poor, pitiful me self-doubt. It was just a chill, probably from the air conditioning. But it was the same chill she felt Saturday evening as she waited for Luann to meet her for dinner. She felt the chill again later that evening when Luann suggested they go back to her apartment. The idea of having sex with her had never frozen Joanna in her tracks before. Well, maybe it had, now that she thought about it. Several times in the 4 months since they met, she had noticed that chill. She had tried to ignore it at first, attributing it to early relationship jitters. But as much as she tried, those feelings of apprehension were still there. Not the feelings she expected, the ones of anticipation and contentment over their next kiss or their next rendezvous. The sex was good, Joanna had to admit that. Or as good as sex could be when she looked forward to the orgasm more than the lovemaking. There was no denying it. Something was drastically wrong. And there shouldn't be. She had a right to expect more. She was tired of forcing a smile and pretending every touch was magical. When she kissed a woman, she wanted it to be passion-driven, not duty-bound. Joanna couldn't explain why, but dating Luann had become a chore, not a pleasure. That wasn't fair to Luann or to herself. At 41, Joanna wanted and needed more, and she knew it wasn't going to come from Luann. Joanna watched the couples walking the sidewalk, her hand subconsciously holding the collar of her blouse closed to the neck. She returned to her desk and snatched up the receiver, keying in the number. She leaned back in her desk chair and closed her eyes as she waited for Luann to pick up, but it went through to her voicemail instead. "Luann, this is Joanna. Sorry I missed you. I'm really sorry to spring this on you at the last minute, but I won't be able to make it this weekend. Something has come up at work. I know, we've been talking about a weekend in P-Town for weeks. Forgive me. Oops, gotta go, another call coming in. Talk with you soon, bye-bye." She hung up and heaved a relieved sigh. She wasn't sure she had breathed the entire time she was fibbing, and hated herself for doing it. "Ms. Lucas, you said to let you know when the crate arrived from Baltimore." Joanna only marginally heard her, the call she had just made still twisting in her mind.